If you want some FIFA 23 coins, please check out MMOXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're fast, cheap and reliable, and if you use code REMA you can get yourself a 5% discount. So what's going on, guys? My name's Ash and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, guys, I'm just going to be giving you like 10 generic tips to help you in FIFA 23, whether it be with your gameplay, overall experience or efficiency within Ultimate Team. Now, I know I have a tendency to waffle on, but I promise you this will be a shorter video, very straight to the point and just, getting the point across. And I'm waffling already. Brilliant. Now, number one is making sure your camera and controller settings are effective. Now, I've made a video on this, so again, I'm not going to talk about this too much. I will link that video in the top right hand corner if you do want to see it. But it's important to choose good settings for camera and controller, because if you don't use good settings, then you're only hindering yourself. For example, if you use the dynamic camera or the EA Sports game cam, you're holding yourself back because that camera, you can barely see anything, even if you have perfect vision. And it's very hard to do anything with those cameras. Using something like telebroadcast or co-op opens up the pitch, gives you a much more even view and makes it easy to play. Similarly with controller settings, if you're not using semi-assisted lob-through passes or crosses, you are only holding yourself back, the same as if you don't use low player switching assistance. You get the point. Make sure your camera and controller settings are good. Now, number two, guys, always manage your time efficiently. Now, I always see a lot of people say they don't have a lot of time to play FIFA, and typically people have their favorite game modes. For example, some people like squad battles, some people like rivals. Well, if you like rivals, you are a weird person, but yeah, some people have different preferences. Now, what I say is balance this out, because if you have minimal time on the game to build your team, it is much better to say get your 8 wins in rivals, get some squad battle rewards and get some Foot Champs playoffs rewards, even if you don't qualify. It's good to balance your time between all these game modes because you actually get a better pack return for your time. For example, if you play 40 games of squad battles to get Elite 1, you get what? 250k packs. If you win 8 games in rivals, you get that already. And let's say you cut the time you play squad battles in half and dedicate the other time to rivals and for champions, for example, you're getting a lot more pack value, you're getting a lot more in return for your time. So being efficient helps you build that squad much easier. So don't invest all of your time into one specific game mode. Now, number three, guys, I suggest you experiment, and no, that is nothing to do with genitalia, so shut up. And this is something I always see people fail at, because people are followers. They like to do what other people are doing. For example, you see a pro player get 20-0 in Foot Champions, you see him with a crazy skill rating, and the first thing people say is, what's your custom tactics? What's your formation? What are your player instructions? And honestly, guys, it is so irrelevant. Everyone has their own natural play styles. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses within FIFA. For example, I'm not very good at hoofing the ball from my centre back to my strikers, and one of the best players in the world suggested to use long ball. I can't use long ball because I'm no good at pinging the ball across the pitch. So what I'm saying is, even though it might be difficult in the short run, you will be much better off if you just experiment and find your own custom tactics, players to use, formations in the future, because when you get used to them and you find something you like, it'll be 10 times better than whatever somebody suggests. Now, number four is understanding how pace in FIFA 23 works. It's a little bit different. Well, it's actually a lot different to any game we've had before. Now, I'm sure a lot of you will already know what accelerate is on the new gen version of the game. You have lengthy, controlled and explosive. Bigger players with high strength and lower agility are lengthy. People that are smaller and more agile are explosive, and people that are kind of in between are controlled. Basically, explosive players accelerate a lot quicker, but they slow down over long distances, and lengthy players speed up as they go along, and when they reach their top speed, they can't be stopped, basically. And understanding how pace works in FIFA 23 is important, because I use a lot of lengthy players in my team. It still feels weird saying that, but we move. Anyway, I use a lot of lengthy players in my team because I feel it is the best pace archetype at the back and at the front. So, for example, with my strikers, I always try and make sure they are lengthy players. Memphis Depay, I put an architect on him to make him lengthy. All my centre-backs are lengthy. My left wing-back is lengthy. You get the point. Basically, understand your pace archetypes, guys, and experiment with them. Number 5 is be aware of the content that's released. Now, I know some people do not care about players that are in packs or SBCs or objectives, but I cannot tell you how easy it can be to get some coins sometimes, or to get some players. Like, for example, the other day, EA released this objective where you had to play like 3 games for a 100k pack and a 50k pack, in which you can pack crazy stuff from that, and it takes absolutely no effort. So staying on top of SBCs and objectives, seeing what is easy and what is worth your time. I'm sure you guys can establish what is worth it and what isn't, but staying on top of that and doing the things that are good, because EA like to release a lot of crap stuff, but when they release something good, make sure you are on top of it and make sure you do it. Number 6 is understanding which mechanics in FIFA 23 are better than others. This took me a few days to work out for myself, and obviously I've seen a few videos. So the thing I noticed, for example, straight away were the Trivela crosses and the Trivela shots were way better than anything else in this game, and they most definitely are. In my FUT Champions games that I've already played, the Trivela shots basically went in every single time. It didn't matter if they were outside the box or inside the box, they still went in. They were more consistent than shots inside the box that are just taken normally. So understanding mechanics in FIFA 23 and knowing what works and how to play is extremely important. Now, another general tip I can give you is every time you play a game, just take a little break after the game. It doesn't matter whether it's 1, 2 minutes, even 5, 10 minutes. It really doesn't matter. Just make sure you're doing something else apart from looking at a screen or thinking about FIFA, because by doing that your brain gets a refresh and you will automatically just play better in the next game. I don't know why it works, but it works for me every time, so it might help you guys out. It's such a simple tip, but it really helps me stay refreshed and stay focused, because if I just go game after game after game, I turn into a robot and I no longer think about what I'm doing. Now, number 8, this is a weird point, but it's always to be humble. Now, in the past, I always thought I was better than I was at FIFA, and that's because sometimes you get an easy run of games and you think you're invincible, and then when you lose, you're like, oh, this is BS, this is stupid, when in reality somebody might just be better than you. It's not always the case, but by staying humble and staying level-headed, you get less disappointed when you lose. You don't get as frustrated, and it's a lot easier to understand where you're going wrong and how to improve, because although some people say scripting, which I'm not going to comment on, yeah, by staying humble, by understanding that there are areas that you can improve, you will notice as a whole your game gets 10 times better. This took me a long time to learn. Number 9 is to play on a gaming monitor or a monitor of some sorts. Now, I know some people already do this, but there are so many people that play on huge televisions, and this is such a no-no when it comes to video games, especially with games like FIFA, because if you use a television, especially a larger one, the refresh rate, the delay, the latency, I should say, is slower on a TV than it would be on a monitor. So, for example, what you see on a TV would be slower than what you see on a monitor. So essentially, you're giving yourself delay for no reason, and you're also going to give yourself a big headache, because if you're looking at a huge screen for too long, it will strain your eyes and it will give you like stupidly bad headaches. But when you switch to a smaller monitor, you'll notice the game looks crisper, it's easier to see what's going on, it doesn't strain your eyes as much, and you will notice that the screen is a lot more responsive and a lot more fast, a lot faster, fast, anyway. And number 10, guys, we're going to go for the nice old generic, but very, very true. Always, and I mean always, make sure you're having fun on the game, guys. Now, just hear me out, please. Genuinely, please try and tell me a valid point as to why you would play a game if you don't get some sort of enjoyment out of it. This took me so long to process in my mind, and it's because I had a lot of mental health issues. I still do, but I'm getting treated for them. Don't worry, guys, I'm not completely crazy. God, this got deep. But anyway, basically, I figured out that I was playing FIFA, and basically for no reason. I didn't enjoy the game, I found it extremely frustrating, and I was basically just addicted to opening packs and getting rewards. But then I thought, well, what am I doing this for if I don't like the game? So I stopped. Luckily with this game, I'm enjoying it a bit more, and that's the main thing. Some tips to have fun in this game and to make your overall experience easier and a lot more pleasant is to use players you want to use. I made a video on Sergio Busquets the other day, it, and I absolutely loved using him. I would have never done that a few years ago, but this year I've had a lot of fun just trying out these players, trying out these formations, trying out different tactics and whatnot, because I just do not care, and that is the best advice I can give you. I'm getting better results now than I did when I tried my ass off a couple of years ago, and it's purely because I just don't care and I'm having fun. And when you're having fun, everything else just falls into place, I can promise you that. So just don't take the game too seriously. Understand that in a year you'll be in the same situation again, starting all over, so anything you've done this year does not matter. So just have fun with it, guys, honestly. But yeah, that is all for the video, guys. I know it's a bit random, I'm doing that a lot recently, but it's just something I felt like making a video on, because so many people get worked up about this game, so many people want to understand what they should be doing in this game, so I thought it was a nice video to just, you know, compile into one and give some nice generic tips that have really helped me in FIFA 23. But yeah, that's everything, guys. If you have enjoyed it, I would appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new, so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you are notified when a video is posted. And with all that aside, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm off to Skegness, and I'll see you all later. Peace.